If you're watching this, you're probably quite lazy. Most of you probably go to bed late, you wake up late, and then immediately as you wake up, you proceed to grab your stupid phone, and then you watch, you scroll on TikTok over and over and over again for hours straight, and then you proceed to jack off like a fucking monkey, until you get out of bed when you're all greasy and weird, and I think I'm resonating with some people here. Now, your story might not be that extreme, but if you're watching this, we can all admit that you have a form of internet addiction. Either you're on your phone for more than an hour a day, 2 hours a day. Most of you probably are. I know a lot of people, even younger than me, who are on their phone for more than 5 hours a day, just scrolling on TikTok. And the problem is that parents nowadays are so stupid, honestly. Parents nowadays do not give a shit about what their kids are watching online. And this is a serious issue. A very serious issue. Because parents nowadays are giving their children iPads as young as the age of 4. Not just iPads, phones, access to the internet. They're given access to the internet at such a young age. And you know what happens when you get access to the internet when you're so young? You get access to pornography. You get access to all these social media sites with all them influencers who influence the child's behavior in order to do things maybe they do not want to do. And I know people out there, children and kids out there that have had porn addictions since they were 9 years old. I'm dead serious. Since they were 9 years old, they've had a problem with pornography. That's how serious this issue is, and it's just, I feel it's a growing issue. And parents nowadays are so, invested in politics, and all their meanings are formed around what the presidents say. You know, what Joe Biden says, what Trump says, whatever. I don't want to get political, but they don't have their own meanings. They form their entire meanings and personality around other people. Thankfully, my parents have never been like that, but I'm kind of an exception though. My parents are not like that, but I know a lot of parents that do give their children access to the internet at a very, very young age, and it's just a growing issue, and I feel something has to be done with it, or else all these kids will have iPads at the age of 4 or 5, maybe even 3. I've seen babies with iPads. Like, when you're a kid, that's when you have the most time. That's when you can just enjoy life, right? And that's also when you can learn the most. So many people say, oh, you should enjoy your childhood. You shouldn't be disciplined. You shouldn't be this and that. But if you are disciplined when you are a kid, you will learn so much more when you grow up, right? Hold on, 1 second. Never mind, it was just a bird that flew right past my window. Anyways, if you spend your young years trying to perfect yourself and learn as much as you possibly can, I promise you will have the best possible life ever. And so many, one thing people say is you shouldn't lift the weights when you're a kid. And to some extent, I can understand that, because there's a risk of injuring yourself. If you have bad form, you can drop the weight on yourself. But there's one argument that is completely proven to be wrong, and that is that how do you say it? It hinders your growth, which is completely false. There is no evidence of children having lifted weights at a young age and not been able to grow as fast. There has been absolutely zero evidence of that, and I see a lot of people nowadays get increasingly more body fat, get fatter and fatter. I mean, even my teachers at my school are, I mean, it's crazy how even our gym teachers nowadays are like 20% body fat. Well, 20 isn't that bad, but you've seen. We all remember that time when in school when your gym teacher is literally like 40% body fat. And he can't even do 10 push-ups without failing. So, and people who actually are, experienced in weight training and are actually smart people, they always recommend children to lift weights and all of that. The point I'm trying to get across is when you are young, you should spend your time perfecting yourself. You should read books, you should get smart, you should lift weights, you should get strong, start martial arts, you should learn how to fight, all of this stuff. And if you do that when you're young, I promise you, you will be so happy for the rest of your life. If you spend your childhood years, this is how modern society imagines you enjoying your childhood. What they want you to do is only make the choices that are instant gratification, very easy choices. They don't want you being uncomfortable in the slightest. They want you to purely be happy. Don't go through anything bad at all. And don't you even try to self-discipline yourself. That's how modern society wants children to grow up. And guess what happens to those children? They grow up, they become fat, they become ugly, they become chimpanzees and slaves of this modern system. Like I talked about, people wake up, they go on their phone, scroll on TikTok for hours on end, and not just TikTok, like YouTube Shorts. I guess YouTube Shorts is almost just as bad as TikTok. Not as bad, but it's still. You can't say like, oh, I don't watch TikTok, I only watch YouTube Shorts. It's just as bad. If you start scrolling on YouTube Shorts, watching it for hours, it's just as bad as having TikTok on your phone. So my advice would be, now obviously I'm not that old, but my advice to kids my age, hold on a second, I kind of glitched out here. There we go. My advice to kids my age would be the same as what's his name, Tom Wilkins. I don't know, but he talked about for kids that they need to do exercise, read, lift weights, do martial arts, meditate, all of that. And I guess I'm kind of just repeating my message, but I really just wanted to talk about this because it's so frustrating how some parents nowadays are growing their children, not just the parents but also the school system, are raising a generation of helpless kids. Man, I honestly feel bad for kids growing up in this generation. They can't experience the greatness of life because they are constantly being told to do all of this stupid shit. Don't be a chimpanzee. Thank you.